Hello everyone, my name is Nakul Singh Rajput, and here we are going to start with understanding the basics of the stock market. So let's jump onto the screen. So as you can see here, understanding the basics of the stock market, demystifying the world of stocks and investment. Now let's start with the agenda. Now the agenda from the need to invest till conclusion or Q&A, everything is subcategorized in the form of chapters. So as you can see here in the agenda, these are the topics that we are going to cover, and these topics are categorized in the form of chapters. So let's start with the first chapter, chapter 1, the need to invest. Now understand this, okay? When we are looking at the stock market, or for the banks, or we can say real estate or any other form of investment, we are exploring investment. So we have to understand the need to invest. Then only we can invest, or then only we can understand about the market. Okay. Now, imagine this scenario. Okay, this is a small case study of a person who's at the age of 30 years old. Okay, who's at the age of 30 and he's planning to retire at 50. Now imagine this is a basic, this is a basic, what do we can say as a case study here about a person who's at the age of 30 and he's planning to retire at 50. Now here we have his income, his salary, as you can see here, which is 50,000 per month. Okay, 50,000 a month. Okay, which annually makes up to 6 lakhs, which means after 12 months his salary is 6 lakhs, right? Expenses. Now expenses means every month this amount of money is deducted, okay, from him. Maybe his wants, or maybe the expenses that he is carrying out for his daily necessities, needs, wants, anything, okay, which annually makes up to 3,60,000. All right, understand. Now surplus, this is the cash retained in hand. Surplus means this is the amount remaining in his hand, which is 20,000 per month, again, which annually makes up to 2,40,000. Clear? 2,40,000. Now things to consider here: raise is 10% and inflation is 8%. Let me break it down. So raise, which means 10%, shows here that his income or salary will be getting an increment annually for 10%, which means at the first year the salary is 6 lakhs. Yes, so it will be growing by 10% at the end of the year. Okay, now 10% can be 60,000 of it. Okay, then we have inflation, which is also growing by 8%. Okay, now same in the expenses. 3,60,000, this 3,60,000 annually, this will also be affected annually by 8% through the inflation, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Here is the 20 years of projection. Remember I told you that he will retire at 50, right? He is planning to retire at 50. So his salary, expenses, everything has to be counted as a sum after the age of 50, or after 20 years. Clear? So let's proceed. 20 years of projection. Now things to consider remains the same here. As you see, raise was 10% and inflation was 8%. From the first year till the 20th year, total income after 20 years is 1,78,90,693, which shows that bottom line, he has no home, no car, right? Bottom line, he did not buy any home nor car, which means that even after his retirement, he has to pay his rent, or pay for his transportation, or any other requirement. So total income after 20 years is 1,78,90,693, which will sustain him only for 8 years, which means that at the age of 58, his money will be finished. Why? The inflation is very high here, right? The inflation is at 8%, which is very high. Bottom line, no home, no car. which means that his expenses will be compounding, but he has no salary to fulfill those needs. Okay. Now, in this in this in this slide, there is a small change. The small change here, it's written as annual return of 12%, which means his investments annually are generating an annual return of total 12%, right? So from first till the 20th year, total income after 20 years is 4 crore 26 lakhs 95,771, which is 2.4 times more than this projection, the savings projection. And this annual return of 12% can be either generated from SIPs, through buying of stocks, through investment in in FDs, or any other instruments which he or she feels like. Okay, so, and what's the special part about this 4 crore 26 lakhs 95,000? Not just that it is 2.4 times more than the savings, but also this is also compounding. Okay, this is compounding. So after one more year, the the investment value can increase. Okay, and also if he uses X amount of money also, at the X amount of money every month, still, even after 50 years, this money is not going to finish. You know why? Because this will compound. And see, unless he does not take out his 4 crore 26 lakhs 95,000, this net amount, otherwise this whole income will be zero. Clear? Will not be compounding anymore. It will be zero if he takes out everything here. Clear? Now, see, investing is essential for securing financial stability, achieving long-term goals, and building wealth. Yes, as you can understand here, investing has to be a goal-driven. You cannot say that you're just invest. Yeah, you can invest for the future, for anything, without having a proper goal, but it has to be done consistently. Investment means consistency. It cannot be just one time. Okay, lump sum is not investment. Investment means consistency. Everybody will tell you that investment can be just a one time, or something with the SIPs, or something with can be reoccurring. Need to have a the investment means it needs consistency with a proper timeline. Otherwise, investment is not investment. Okay, I cannot say that today I'll invest 20 lakh and later I'll see whether I'll be making a good amount of returns. Actually, no. To get the best returns on my investment, if I have 20 lakhs also, I'll have to break it in the form of parts, okay, and then invest it. And yes, I can help you in that also, and we can work on that. See, by putting money into assets that generate returns, individuals can beat inflation, prepare for retirement. Not just that. If you are investing, you can also, get long-term wealth also. You can grow your wealth. You can grow your business also, because, as far as many business owners that I know, they have X amount of, what do we call it, as a security deposit, which they use for investment. Okay, so that whenever there is a problem in the business, they can use that money also. Clear? Now, investing plays a vital role in securing a brighter and financial future. Yes, investment does not mean 1 month, 1 year. It is a goal driven, first things first. And the more time we have, the better it matures. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. See, everybody will be telling you, you can invest, you should invest, here and there, blah, blah, everything. You'll be hearing it all the way, all the way of your life, and in and out from people, here and there. But where can you invest? That's the ultimate thing here. First things first, fixed income instruments. Now, fixed income instruments can be your FDs and RDs. Okay, FDs, fixed deposit, RDs, recurring deposits. Okay, that is in fixed income instrument. So we'll be just picking up 2-3 instruments of all the investment options, and we'll be discussing its pros and cons in the latest slide. Okay, so then we have commodities, precious metals, gold and silver. Yes, but commodities does not mean gold and silver. It can be your your needs also, which you can invest. For example, food items like rice, wheat. These are also classified in commodities only. All right. Copper, other metals like aluminum. Yes, you can invest there. Then we have real estate, lands, flats, properties, anything which you wish like to invest. Okay, in something like land, flats, and properties, or any other any other, what do we call it, any other physical asset that you see, where you can stay, where you can rent. I would not just say that real estate can be just your lands, flats, or properties. It can be something like your buildings that you're using for rental purpose. That also comes under real estate. So real estate also generates income like other sources, but the problem with real estate is that it's not easy to buy one. We all know that. Okay, which we will discuss in pros and cons. Then we have equity, stock market. Now in stock market we can invest in equity shares, and there are many different instruments where we can invest while we are investing in the stock market. Okay, clear? Let's move on to the next slide. Now, things to note before investing. Okay, see, risk and returns go hand in hand. Yes, and most of the you'll hear this term. The more you risk, the more is the return. Actually, I don't agree with that, and factually, it does not work like that. The smarter you invest, the more will be the returns. Okay. Focus on this. Then see again, investment is okay. One more thing. Just press the back button. Okay, let's go back. Sorry for that. Okay, yeah. Investment in fixed income is a good option. Yes, but it is good for people who have retired, or people who cannot take risk, and for them the principal capital is very much important. Okay, for example, if I am at the age of 45 or 50, I would probably stick to FDs, which is generally more safer for me, and my principal capital is always protected there. Okay, though I cannot use that money to beat inflation or any other thing. Clear? Then we have gold and silver. Gold and silver are relatively safer, but historical returns are good, but not as great as other instruments. You know why? Let's take a data from 1990. Okay, let me just paint terminal. Let's go to the paint terminal, as you can see on my screen. Yeah, we'll pick up a year 1990. We'll just focus on the basic rate of returns. Okay, here I'm not telling you that the returns are more or less, but we'll just hold the basic. Now gold and silver have grown from 500% to 800%. This is the basic. Okay, I have to always stick to the basic. Yeah, there are commodities which has given more returns than this, like your zinc and others. Okay, 500 to 800%. This is just for your gold and silver. Now let's talk about real estate. Real estate investment requires a significant outlay of cash. Yes, real estate is a lot safer, and you have a physical thing there which holds a strong value. For example, a land or a building, flat, anything, it holds a really good value. But see, it's not easy to buy one or sell one. The liquidity gets jammed there. Okay, but also it's relatively very safer. And historical returns, let's go back. It's from 800% to 1500%, which means in 1990, if you invested in any place in India and just bought a land for 1 lakh, today the land's value would have been around 15 to 20, 25 more. depending upon the place. See, depending upon the place. But we will just stick to the basic ones. Clear? Now, investment in equities is a great option. It is known to beat inflation over the years, and yes, but you know, historical returns here are tremendous. It's really good. I'll just write the number. I'll just say 2, 3, 0. Okay, 0, 0, 0%. And yes, my friends, this is the basic rate of returns from stock market since 1990. Then I don't need to, you know, if we check at the stocks which have grown at their maximum value, yes, this I have to add a few more zeros there, but again, I told you we have to stick to the basic ones. And yes, 2,30,000 percentage is the average rate of returns. And yes, it is not a bluff here. Everything is true here. And yes, again, all this was achieved with consistency. Clear? With consistency. All right. I'm not going to promise anything up or down here, but yes, with consistency, yes. So, case study. Yes, I do have a case study of an interesting person whose name is Mr. Rakesh Junjunwala, the ace trader and ace investor. I'll share this. I'll share his case study in the description so that you can have a look on that. All right, and please have a close look on this, because this is really good and about a really good investor. So here, my friends, we come to an end at chapter 1. Okay, so in this video we will just cover up chapter 1, and yes, in the next video we'll cover up chapter 2, which is what is the stock market. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking.